Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om. 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 Jai Ram, Jai Ram, Om. Shri Ram, 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 Jai Ram, Jai 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 Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram
Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Sorry for being late.
Hari Om Pranam Swamiji.
Very, very sorry for being late. Hari Om, Hari Om. So,
Hari Om Pranam Swamiji.
so what is it that is to be shared? What was the subject which we discussed yesterday? Huh?
How to make the effective. Ramnam effective.
And then we did
How to make the Ram Nam effective?
and with that we did the
And
Bhagavad Gita PPT.
Bhagavad Gita. Last 15 minutes.
how to make our Ram Nam more effective? Did we try? Any of us?
Right.
Only when we try we will know that we are not being able to make it effective or not effective. Otherwise, we are just hearing, that's all. So everyone should try at least for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And whether the mind is going in the usual way or whether the mind is trying to concentrate upon what is to be concentrated upon.
Yes, Swamiji. Tried Swamiji. ஒரு 10 minutes மனசு ஒரு சமத்தா கேட்கறது, அப்புறம் தாட்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் அங்கேயும் இங்கேயும் போறது சுவாமிஜி. என்ன பண்றதுன்னே தெரியல, ரொம்ப கஷ்டமா இருக்கு.
That is okay. அப்போ 10 minutes ட்ரை பண்ண முடிஞ்சது இல்லையா?
எஸ் சுவாமிஜி.
That is important. முள்ள பண்ணுவோம். Because it is not trained. When the chanting is going on, the mind is...
Yes, Swamiji.
When we keep on chanting, normally the mind will go in its own way. Because so far we have not applied this line of doing manana along with chanting. So naturally it will go, it doesn't matter. But at least now we try. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 So 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you will try. Whether the mind is concentrating on the sound, where from it comes. Something like that, whatever one gets. It's not going out. Then slowly we are trying to remember Papa's words, trying to enter into the stillness within us through the sound. So that means we try to hear, we try to watch our own thoughts. So when we try to hear our own thoughts, our own chanting, the chanting is being witnessed. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 And when we stop, what happens? Again, we try to remember his words. We try to become aware of the stillness between the two mantras, two chantings. All these exercises help us.
You only make us to chant.
He makes us chant.
You only make us to
He makes us chant.
Something he makes us to chant. Any device, any method. After that, the mind may go out. At least we have made a trial now. Consciously chanting, mindfully chanting, chanting with awareness, chanting with a prayer to him. Chanting to become aware that he is making us to chant. Instead of straight away taking up chanting, probably 5 minutes before that, we read something to put us on the rail. For example, human life is a rare acquisition. Its purpose is to know the Atman, by knowing which you have nothing more to know. Everyone must realize that the divine is within us. God is within your heart. You are his embodiment. You are he, but you do not know that. There is a veil of ignorance separating you from God. Remove the veil, first God, everything else comes next. These are the first few lines of the book called Thus Speaks Ramdas, small book. So before we chant, suppose we do that, it might help. These are some of the ways. Human life is a rare acquisition. Its purpose is to know the Atman, by knowing which you have nothing more to know. Everyone must realize that the divine is within him. God is within your heart. You are his embodiment. You are he, but you do not know that. There is a veil of ignorance separating you from God. Remove the veil, first God, everything else comes next. The microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. God dwells in every being and thing, however small, in his entirety and perfection. Think not in terms of the individuals, but always in terms of the universal. Do everything for the sake of God. Then your ego sense will vanish and you will realize you are the universal spirit, changeless, eternal, infinite. This is your goal. The microcosm is the macrocosm. The individual is the universal. God dwells in every being and thing in his entirety and perfection, however small. Think not in terms of the individual, but always in terms of the universal. Do everything for the sake of God. Then your ego sense will vanish. You will realize you are the universal spirit, changeless, eternal, infinite. This is your goal. Your life is indeed for the service. Your life is intended for the service of all. The expansion of the individual into the universal is possible only when God thought rules your mind, when God love fills your heart, God's will governs your actions. Whenever you see anybody, you must see not only the external form but also the indwelling reality. This is the true vision. This alone can free you from the sense of diversity and make you realize the unity and oneness of our existence. It is not merely in holy places and persons that you should see God. It is not merely in holy persons and places that you should see God, but in all, everywhere, even in the marketplace. You must always feel the divine presence in and about you. Your life is intended for the service of all. The expansion of the individual into the universal is possible only when God thought rules your mind, God's love fills your heart, God's will governs your actions. Whenever you see anybody, you must see not only the external form but also the indwelling reality. This is the true vision. This alone can free you from the sense of diversity, make you realize the unity and oneness of our existence. It is not merely in holy persons and places that you should see God, but in all, everywhere, even in the marketplace. You must always feel the divine presence in and around you. Just as a man has aspiration for the divine, woman also has. So women too must be given ample opportunities to walk on the path that leads to liberation. We have in India women who have reached the highest spiritual attainment. Papa is writing at a time when women were not exposed. Mostly they were with the household activities. Just as a man has aspiration for the divine, woman also has. So women too must be given ample opportunities to walk on the path that leads to liberation. We have in India women who have reached the highest spiritual attainment. So this is one page from Thus Speaks Ramdas. When we read, we try to go through, we dwell, and then we take up the Nama chanting. When we read, we get some thrill, we get some inspiration. So to keep up that, we have to remember him. For remembering, Nama chanting. So while chanting, these are some of the ways by which, Papa wants us to keep up the attributes. So at home, when we take up this for a few minutes, suppose we go through a small text. This is very effective, I'll tell you. One page from Thus Speaks or glimpses or sayings of Ramdas, like that. Now so many books are come out, Mother of All, The Silent Stage, Nama Leads, Inward Journey, Sadhana and Sadhaka. These are all small books.
Thoughts for the day. Shraddha's thoughts for the day.
Thoughts for the day. Every day something in you will be there. Suppose we go through that again. Because with that background, when we sit, the mind might behave well. Instead of straight away sitting and chanting. For somebody that might be easy, for many it may not be that easy. Because we are in the midst of so many activities, we also want to do this. That is the problem we are facing. Where there is an exclusive interest, there nothing matters. Among our various activities, we have also included and we want to remember him. And we have the at least superficial faith in the words of our master. That is why, even though it has not given us the desired result, we still keep chanting, That is there, In spite of the fact that we have not been remembering him, in spite of the fact that we have not been dwelling side by side on the attributes, in spite of the fact that the mind is unruly and going out, still we continue to chant. That itself is a great blessing. So now we want to do it more. All these thoughts can come before we start. And plead. You have made us understood that by chanting I should remember you, but I make an effort, but at the same time the mind behaves in a different way. Why don't you please step in and bless me to concentrate upon you? And then Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. That is why Papa said, because among the so many things we also want to do. So probably it is not behaving well because we were not living up to what Papa wants us to do during our non-chanting time. Outer activity should be compatible with inner aspiration. Outer activities should be compatible with inner aspiration. Inner aspiration is to remember him. Ramda, again suppose the mind is not, oh.
Somebody is muted. Muted.
Again, we don't have to stand on any customs or any procedure. Suppose now suddenly we press something, it went off the line. So the only thing is, instead of asking why and where, we try to go back again. It's a demonstration. So we want to chant, we want to remember him, suddenly the mind goes somewhere. Let us not bother about it, we try to bring it back. And when we were reminded of Papa's words, outer activity should be compatible with inner action. So again in this small book he says, Ramdas does not want anyone to lead only a contemplative life. One must also serve one's fellow beings in a selfless spirit. Love thy neighbor as thyself does not mean that love should only be felt in the heart. It must be shown also in action, in the form of relieving distress and rendering help. To serve man is to serve God. In Karma Yoga, work is done as worship. Then alone it gives you joy. It should be done as perfectly as possible, with great care and love, and never in a slipshod, clumsy, irregular, half-hearted way. And the next sentence, is that's what it should get stamped in our heart. The inner beauty must reveal itself in the outer conduct. The inner beauty must reveal itself in outer context. So this is our outer activities. Outer activity should be compatible with inner aspiration. So we try this. Inner beauty must reveal itself. Do not renounce work, but divinize work by doing it in full submission to the will of God. Work is worship when it is done selflessly. Again it goes.
Bring the other laptop and come, maybe.
No, by itself is gone. Do not renounce work, but divinize work by doing it in full submission to the will of God. Work is worship when it is done selflessly, in a spirit of dedication to God. Do not run away from the work given to you by the divine. Do it without the ego sense. Become willing instruments in the hands of the divine and cheerfully do the work without any thought of the fruit. Work, be a detached witness of the work. So every now and then we break and then try to fill the mind with such thoughts. Again chant. These are some of the ways by which we can try. 5 minutes or 10 minutes. See for ourselves which suits us. Suppose somebody would like to control it by counting, also welcome. Because in the counting, at least some control will be there. Because otherwise I will lose the count. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 11 times. Because if the mind is going somewhere, I will lose the count. But we should know all these things are only to control the mind. And then think about the attributes. The unruly mind can be brought under subjection to any method which is suitable for us. We need not be guided by any method given by anybody. We keep on trying in our own way. And on a particular day, it is in spite of all these things, it is not cooperating. Better stop it. Pour some cold water on your face, wipe it, come back and then sit. So that the train of thought is broken. So a conscious effort is made to dwell on the attributes through chanting, which is what is called remembering him. In any touching prayer, we can draft ourselves. We need not follow any draft given by anybody. You are seated within. You have made me to occupy my mind on various activities, but you were also kind enough to give me thoughts now and then that I should remember you. And for that you made me to get in touch with Papa, who gave me the holy and all-powerful Ram Nam, and made me to read or to absorb or to assimilate or to hear, that I should keep on chanting to remember the name of one who is making me to now think. Every time when you write, you also make me to feel that I have lost the thread. Please don't do that. That means even the very act of the mind going out, we recognize it is also He who is behind it. And this prayer comes because of remembering Him. So we are fully we are free to adopt any form. Any soothing bhajan, any soothing music. If we are earnest, we will try some of these methods and we will select which is suitable for us. And it will surely help. In total disregard to our taste, temperament and habits, we are trying to follow somebody's, that is why it is not behaving well. This truth, becomes very clear to us. So we have to devise an altogether unique method. Yes? What happened? Vivekananda Sharma?
But midday it has come, Swamiji.
Eh?
By midday it has come, Swamiji. It is not going.
What is coming?
I can't hear.
Uncle, repeat your question.
One person. Eh? Repeat, please.
மெடிடேட் பண்ணும்போது யாரும் மனசு பண்றதா நான் பண்றதான்னு தெரிய மாட்டேங்கிறதா சுவாமிஜி.
மெடிடேட் பண்ணும்போது
மனசு பண்றதுங்க இதை நான் மனசுல ஒப்சர்வ் பண்றேன்னா தெரிய மாட்டேங்குது. ஆரை ஒப்சர்வ் பண்றான்னு தெரிய மாட்டேங்கிறத.
நல்ல காரியம் தானே அது. அப்போ அப்படியே பண்ணுவோம் கொஞ்சம். அப்போ என்ன நடக்கிறது பார்க்கலாமே.
இப்போ அதான் காத்தால அதான் பண்றோம் சாமி. யாரும் தெரியாம இப்படி பண்ணிட்டு
யூ ட்ரை யுவர் இதெல்லாம் மனசில் வச்சுக்கிட்டு அந்த மெத்தடாகும் வழியில் வந்து சொன்னால் யூ ட்ரை.
அதான் பண்றோம் சாமி.
தென் சம்திங் வில் கம் அவுட் ஆஃப் இட். Something unique, which is in line with our taste, temperament and our mindset. Suppose when we take to chanting for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and if the mind still becomes unruly after 5 minutes, or better we let it get up, Better you don't do it, Muller Papa. அந்த டைமில் if the mind is unruly, better that time we just get up, we try to disconnect the train of thought, go just for a walk, looking at the sky, looking at a flower, looking at a photo, then we come back and sit. அப்படி எப்படி பண்ணணும்னு யாரும் வெளியில் சொல்ல முடியாது. நம்மளே தான் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கணும். இத்தனை நாளைக்கு நம்ம மற்றவா சொன்னா இவா சொன்னான்னு சொல்லிட்டு நம்ம பண்ணோமே. But it has not given us the feeling that we are remembering him. Let us try to face this fact, this truth.
Swamiji,
Morning when I do sit up for meditative Ramnam chanting, I don't know, I don't practice any particular thing because I really don't know how and why and when, how it happens. But that for half an hour, 45 minutes, he is ruling me. I don't know anything else.
Whether
But
it
afterwards, I'm not able to keep up Swamiji. I'm not able to see him in everything and everybody.
ठीक है. These are all good things, we have become aware of how the mind behaves. That is the big plus point. And then now we employ some other method. We keep on trying, whichever method is suitable for us. We are still, because our mind has been trying to follow a path which is suggested by somebody else. And it has not helped us. So now we try to follow our own path. The moment we try to follow our own path, we will be 100% successful. Though not straight away. Because it is in line with our nature, So far the resistance was there because we are going against our nature. So the body, mind and intellect will not permit us. So now we are trying to reach a stage where we try to evolve a method of our own in anything, handling anything and everything. You will find, intuitively you get the guidance as to how to move forward. You go back to your own life and activities. It is not that you are always guided by anything outside. There are many occasions when, in a day, when our own intuitive feeling guides us. The same thing we try to now open up. And even in a small, suppose you are arranging for a room for somebody, it is not that you are guided by what somebody says. You will know which part has to be moved here, there, small thing. When you go to the bathroom, nobody will tell you what you should first go through, whether the bucket is there, the mug is there, the tap is there, all those things. But automatically you will start doing one by one, keep it ready for somebody. You will see that everything is kept in a proper place. That means you are going in line with that. Similarly, for chanting also, so far we have not been successful because we want to follow a path suggested by somebody. In Papa's own words, however great he may be, However, so that means we have to find out our own.
Swamiji, I don't know why and how I am doing because at that time I am not myself. I've been taken over. Like it is not that I am trying to do anything.
It is perfectly all right. You do anything, anything that is coming from you originally. And when it comes in original way, you will also say that I don't know why. That is right. It has come to you. But ultimately we are now praying that the mind should dwell on him who is behind this. That's all. The life of the individual must grow like a bud into a flower and the flower into a fruit. As we provide the necessary conditions and environments for the growth and the fruition of the bud into fruit, so also is it with life. In the life of the adult spiritual aspirant, the best discipline for his advancement and ultimate realization is the self-imposed discipline. Here, imitation and abject implicit obedience to the law set by anyone, however highly evolved he may be, will, instead of bringing into being an illumined individual, only produce a human robot without initiative, all its inner powers and beauty unexpressed, unrevealed. The keen aspiration for attaining the highest truth must be there. Contact with a divinely illumined personality must also be there. But the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. Very clear cut guidance for us. So far, we have been trying to set ourselves in the mold given by somebody else. It did not work. So now we are trying, he is now pointing out to us, you try to draft out, what do you call, evolve a method, a process, evolve a process that is okay to your nature. But the unfoldment of the hidden divine life and truth in the sadhaka must take place according to the nature and qualities of his inner and outer life and being. So this also will let us bear in our mind. Nobody will be able to, nobody outside will be able to guide us. This is the blunt truth. Initially we go by that, and then later on plead, appeal, cry for his grace to bring out that which is unique, that which is okay for us. So that is the prayer. The prayer also will help. Yes, suppose the mind is still, 5 minutes we try, it is not still, we can include a beautiful touching prayer. Preferably a prayer of our own. We have been repeating prayers with the meaning of which we have intellectually analyzed, and we also say it is nice, it is inspiring, it is wonderful, all those things. But the truth we know that we have not been able to remember it. Then we try to understand the truth that the prayer has not come from our own heart.
சுவாமிஜி அது நீங்க சொல்வ டயலாக் தான் சுவாமிஜி கலாக்கு சரியா வருது பாப்பா கிட்ட
dialogue. This is what Papa did. If you go through the last portion of In Quest of God, what is it called? Outpourings in the caves. You kindly go through that. And it is given out by a saint who has been trying and who has been successful, who has been to a very great extent successful in taming the mind, disciplining the mind, and who has been able to dwell on God remembrance for a long time. Even to him, how the mind behaved. A great eye-opener for us. So let us not lose heart. Let us not get dispirited. Because mind is such a thing, when we have not, when it is not closely associating with what it is trying to, then some device, That is why in the first book, In Quest of God, he thought it appropriate to add this. It's a great eye-opener for sadhakas like us. It's called In the Cave. Heart pourings when Ramdas resided in the cave. We will just read. It was so kind of him that he was able to remember this and put it in writing. O Ram, the word father, mother, brother, friend, preceptor, knowledge, fame, wealth, and all. Sole refuge thou art. Make thy slave merge themselves in thee alone. O Ram, what thy slave Ramdas should do or should not do must be determined by thee alone. He is bewildered, he is helpless. Make him resign all to thee. Let him live, move, and have his being in thee. Let him eat, drink, sleep, move, sit, stand, talk, think, look, hear, smell, touch. Do everything in thy name and for thy sake only. O Ram, O Divine Mother, Ramdas is thine totally, completely, heart, soul, body, mind, everything, everything. O Ram, thy slave cannot know what to think of thy infinite love. Shall he weep over it? Shall he smile over it? Shall he cry over it? Shall he laugh over it? Thy love is at times so grand, majestic, vast, gushing like the mighty ocean and its roaring waves. At times it is so soft, tender, gentle, silent, like the mild flow of a tiny stream under musical ripples. O Ram, keep thy slave always absorbed in thee. See? He is at once thy slave and thy child. He is willing to serve thee in every way according to the wisdom thou givest him. He is thy innocent child, looking always for thy guidance and security. Never allow him to leave thy holy feet, O Ram. Never put him in a situation in which he would forget thee. Now, when we go through that, we are going through the words of Papa. If we try to copy this, it will not stay with us. This is the blunt truth. So he is giving us, he demonstrates a process by which he was able to practice. Similarly, suppose we devise our own. This is the clue he gives. Not to repeat these words. That also we try, By trying it might help us initially. But later on that also we forget. O Ramdas, drink always the sweet nectar of Ram's love. O Ram, make Ramdas mad of thee. Mad, stark mad. He wants nothing besides this. Let him talk like a fool only of thee, O Ram. Let the world declare him a madman. Yes, mad of thee, Ram. Ramdas cares not for the opinion of this man or that. He is not to be bound. O Ram, see that he is not bound. Let him be bound only by thy shackles. Those are the shackles of thy love. But thy love is free. So where are the shackles? It is an enchanting freedom in fetters. O Ram, the madness of thy love, how sweet, how intoxicating, how charming. O Ram, purify the mind of thy slave. Let him not see evil anywhere. Let him not see faults in others, but only good. O Ram, have mercy on thy slave. Fill his mind with thy grace. Thou art the sole refuge of thy slave. O protector, loving parent of the whole universe, lift thy slave up from the consciousness of a narrow life in a perishable body. Make him realize the infinite love. O Ramdas, rise above the narrow limitation of your own making. Ram asks you in all love and kindness, speed up, my child, come up, here is my hand, grasp it, rise out of the bondage in which you are. O love, O life universal, O mother, O Ram, how glorious it is always to bask in the sunshine of thy loving influence. Say, for example, now these are all some of the ways, Papa is suggesting now by prompting us to read. Some outpouring from our heart. Outpouring as it comes originally from our mind. Instead of copying, instead of reading, instead of learning it by heart, instead of reproducing it, we now try to bring out our own outpourings. This could also be another method. And then when we sit for chanting, that means the chanting also will be in our own method. How to become one with it? How to become one with it? In our own way. So far, the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others. And often it is still felt that the chanting is not becoming effective, meaning his remembrance is still a far cry. So to get over this feeling, a methodology has to be evolved based on trial and error, which is suitable and in line with our own nature. Everybody is hearing?
Yes, Swamiji.
This is very...
Swamiji.
Yes, Swamiji.
So far, the chanting has been done based on the methodologies given by others, and often it is still felt that the chanting is not becoming effective, meaning his remembrance is still a far cry. So to get over this feeling, a methodology has to be evolved based on trial and error, which is suitable and in line with our own nature. Again, some of the points that came in a book. Again, we should not be guided by that. That control C, control V habit should be somehow we have to get over. Some of the points mentioned below could help us, or it might lead us to some other points. Sound is the first movement of the motionless. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. We hear the sound, The sound is the first movement of the motionless. The Nami is the indwelling reality, whose name we are chanting. Nami is the indwelling reality. He is so merciful that he is ever with us even when we do not remember him, even when we do not offer worship to him, even when we do not acknowledge him, or even when we deny him. He is the great provider right from the seed level up to the present moment. He is the life force activating everything in us, including the act of chanting. He is the life force activating everything in us, including the act of chanting. Attentiveness to chanting ensures remembrance. Consciously chanting. All sensory objects have come into existence because of him, and therefore wherever the mind goes, it is in him only. Nama is the expansion from me to we and then we to him. The knowing factor while chanting is the witness consciousness. We know that we are chanting. And wait. What is that knowing factor? Like that. We know that we are chanting. We know that we are sitting, that knowing principle. The knowing factor while chanting is the witness consciousness. Everything we see and handle are a means to connect ourselves with Him. What is within me is within everybody. It is tough, agreed. Gandhiji, that is why he said, in the how to install Ramnama in our heart. He says, there is no doubt whatsoever that Ramnam contains all the power that is attributed to it. No one can, by mere wishing, enshrine Ramnam in the heart. Untiring effort is required, as also patience. Installing Ramnam in our heart could mean incessant chanting of his name. This could be one method by which we could attain more concentration and establish the link with him. Though the simplest method suggested by our master, Papa, to do so is to hold on to his name with the right perspective. His remembrance should be the undercurrent of the chanting. Through our past experiences, we have learned that without the proper perspective, chanting becomes a superficial, mechanical activity in which we do not remember him, which is the very purpose of chanting. So today, to put it, so many thoughts came. So we are trying, ultimately it zeroes to this, that we devise a method which is suitable for us. We read a one page from any book. One page means not strict, some few lines, okay. So that the mind is set on that particular line. And then we start chanting. We try to hear, employ any method. We try to bring the attributes in the way in which we can understand. Let us not try to follow any method. In our case, the method, it has not been proved, it has not been effective. That we know from our experience. So we devise an altogether different method. Just like our master evolved a unique method for himself, we did not understand that message. Now we know that. So we try to do that. Even if it is for 1 minute, if the chanting becomes effective, we have succeeded. So how do I make the Nama chanting effective? And a prayer coming from the bottom of the heart. Initially, to get ourselves trained, we also repeat the outer prayer. All these things are facts, blunt truths. Those who have been in the ashram and those who have been regularly attending the Arati period. We have been doing it for decades, not even years. If anybody forgets one line, we are able to remember that line. That means we have learnt it by heart. It goes on. Everything is wonderful. But the question remains that it remains at some level, not going deep. So how do I do that? So first of all, we try to face this. reality. Bless me so that I may be able to feel your presence now and here, no? Make me thine and thine only, forever and ever. Let whatever be a fitting offering. We are not specifying any action. Whatever I do, no? Whatever I do, we are repeating it. We not that we are insincere. Not that we want to deceive ourselves. Because nobody is going to check us, nobody is going to give us any certificate or a promotion or demotion certificate. No. We know that. But the effect is not there, no. So what should I include along with this? It is not for somebody else we are repeating. It is not that we don't want to live up to it. We are still enchanted by those words, that's why we are repeating. But then we are asking ourselves why it is not going beyond certain level. At some level it is there, that is why we are remembering the words. Only one can answer this. Others cannot answer. But it all points out to Papa's wonderful life and teachings, that it should be unique, unique, unique. So we will try now. When we meet on Monday, something will emerge. Let us see. 2 minutes or 5 minutes, we try this every day. Is that clear to everybody?
Yes, Swami, yes.
We will try. We will try. Yeah, we will try. He will not leave us. Rest assured. This is a beautiful word of Papa. Rest assured. When once we have given our hand to him, he will not leave us.
Your blessings so much.
He will make us to do it. We slowly hand ourselves over to him. Please guide us. Please guide us. We keep on asking. Okay then. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram. Jai Ram. Jai Jai Ram. Om
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram,
Shri Ram. I was just remembering the great Bhakta Nandana's life. His boss, Vedigar. He had learned all Shastras. He was undergoing the prescribed ways. He was deriving benefits. But the truth remained that he was not able to remember him throughout. But when he gave a discourse, this Nandan was his sevak, staying with him, working, an unlettered boy. But he heard the discourse of his master before a big audience. And in his own way, he was trying to hear and then interpret it to the wife of Vedigar. And then, what happened? slowly the eagerness. When his master said that a mere darshan of Lord Natarajaya, that is enough, you will become one with it. See the difference now. The bookish knowledge of Vediga, it is prompting him to tell these facts. But the unlettered Nandan take this message coming authoritatively from the Lord himself. And one day, though so many hurdles were put, one day, because of his intense aspiration, God saw to it that whatever his master has asked him to do, that was done mysteriously, miraculously. And he starts running toward the temple. And according to what we hear, though there was a hurdle, somebody prevented him, and he was subjected to go through some tests, but he did not bother. Only his mind was on. My master said, the very darshan of him will make me to lose myself and become one with him. And it did happen. Dematerialized. So that gives us the clue, no? A unique method. This method, what he adopted, was not suggested by the master. Because of his intensity, it came out from himself, and then he was able to reach.
Swamiji,
Ah.
does this dematerialization really happen?
Does the
It happened to
dematerialization of the
Mirabai.
body really happen?
Vallalaar
Mirabai also, no?
Matajiyodu, Appaya Dikshidhar. So there are many.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There are many. Oh, what cannot happen? The purity has become so, and just like camphor, the sublimation takes place. Before you light the camphor, there is a form.
Swamiji, it reminds me of our Arti, Karpura Sama Udu.
Maji Aham Buddhi. That's what really. So now something should evolve, emerge from ourselves. So just we thought we were chanting. Papa is reminding us, what did Nanda do? Nandan had faith in the words, and Nandan immediately, it kindled a unique method from within. And when he was prompted to act according to that, he became one with it. So here the message is unique, not the one which is prescribed from outside. So may he guide us to develop our own unique method. That is our prayer. Hari Om, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om, Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Pranam.
Namaskar, Swamiji.
Namaskar.
Pranam, Swami.
Pranam.